Have you ever stopped to think about how much the rules of making things have changed? For decades, if you wanted to build a physical product, you were completely locked into traditional tooling, rigid geometric limits, and massive setup costs. But today, the game looks entirely different. When you bring together additive manufacturing and computer numerical control, or CNC, you get a whole new playbook. To really level up your expertise here, we need to stop looking at these technologies as isolated gadgets in a workshop. Instead, we have to see them as part of one connected digital thread. From generative design and computer-aided manufacturing to automated tool paths and the final physical piece, digital fabrication is all about agility, smarter use of materials, and unlocking designs we used to only dream of. Over the next few minutes, we're going to pull back the hood on the mechanics, materials science, operational setup, and the real-world industrial power of both 3D printing and CNC machining. By the time we wrap up, you'll have a clear strategic framework you can use to evaluate, choose, and integrate these technologies right into your own professional workflows. Let's kick things off with additive manufacturing, or what most of us just call 3D printing. At its core, it's pretty simple. You're building a component layer by layer, straight from a digital 3D model. But if you think 3D printing is still just about making cheap plastic prototypes on a desk, it's time to update that mental model. Modern industrial systems are out here building end-use parts that handle extreme environments. Let's break down the main industrial players. First, you have fused deposition modeling, or FDM. This is your material extrusion setup using thermoplastic filaments or pellets. Today's industrial extruders are light years ahead, featuring multi-material capabilities and automated tool swapping that reduce purge waste and enable the creation of highly complex composite structures. Next up is stereolithography, or SLA, in our VAT photopolymerization family. This uses UV lasers to cure liquid photopolymer resins one microscopic layer at a time, giving you incredible surface finishes and microscale detail. Then we've got selective laser sintering, or SLS, which falls under powder bed fusion. By using high-powered lasers to fuse metal or polymer powders together, SLS lets you create internal channels, intricate lattice structures, and weight-optimized parts that you simply cannot build with traditional subtractive methods. And it doesn't stop indoors. We are seeing massive gantry systems printing structural elements directly using cement-based composites, polymers, and wood matrices. If you want to master this, you've got to understand the trade-offs, things like layer orientation, anisotropic mechanical properties, thermal stress, and what kind of post-processing your parts need to survive in the real world. Now, as amazing as additive manufacturing is for complex geometries, subtractive manufacturing, specifically CNC machining, is still the absolute gold standard when you need extreme dimensional accuracy, a massive variety of materials, and rock-solid reliability. A high-performance CNC workflow is all about translating a CAD file into a flawless CAM toolpath. To get good at this, you really need to wrap your head around a few key things. First, the kinematic setup. Are you running a standard 3-axis machine, a 4-axis, or a simultaneous 5-axis center? That tells you right away how many sides of a part you can tackle in a single setup. Second, you've got your cutting parameters. You have to dial in your spindle speeds, feed rates, chip loads, and depth of cut to keep heat under control and prevent your tools from wearing out too quickly. And finally, advanced toolpath strategies. Techniques like trochoidal milling and dynamic air paths keep your cutting tool consistently engaged, which significantly extends tool life and slashes cycle times, especially when you're chewing through tough metals like titanium or Inconel. The really exciting part? Modern CNC is leaning hard into artificial intelligence. AI-driven machining uses real-time sensors to monitor the machine for vibrations, thermal shifts, and load changes, automatically adjusting feeds and speeds on the fly. As a professional, your role is shifting from troubleshooting error codes to validating data, tweaking algorithms, and managing autonomous production cells. Here is where things get really fun. For years, people treated additive and subtractive manufacturing as bitter rivals, but today, that wall has completely crumbled. Welcome to the world of hybrid manufacturing, machines that actually combine metal 3D printing and traditional CNC cutting into a single platform. Why is this such a big deal? It solves two of manufacturing's biggest headaches. One, it tackles material waste and near-net shapes. The machine can build a complex inner shape using deposition, and then the integrated CNC spindle can immediately step in and machine those critical mating surfaces to tight tolerances. Two, it solves thermal management. Hybrid systems let us build parts with internal winding cooling channels that keep aerospace engines and high-performance molds running cooler and lasting longer, geometries you could never drill or mill the old-fashioned way. At the same time, digital twins have matured. They aren't just cool visual models anymore, they are living, breathing operational ecosystems. By linking your design parameters, process data, and live sensor feeds into a single virtual space, you can run virtual stress tests and clash detection long before a single physical chip hits the floor. Mastering these connected ecosystems is what separates the modern manufacturing leader from the pack. So, how do we turn all this technical know-how into real professional competence? It comes down to looking at digital fabrication through the lens of operational excellence and sustainability. Today, we don't just measure success by how fast we can make a part or how cheap it is. We have to look at the environmental footprint too. That means paying attention to a few vital areas. First, energy and resource optimization. Look into dry cutting, minimum quantity lubrication, and serious material recycling protocols, especially when you're dealing with high-performance alloys. Second, carbon tracking. Treat your energy draw, waste yields, and coolant life cycles with the exact same precision you apply to your dimensional tolerances. And third, cross-disciplinary teamwork. You have to bridge the gap among software optimization, materials science, and hands-on machine operation so your shop floor runs smoothly without bottlenecks. As digital fabrication continues to scale worldwide, your ability to navigate multi-material printing, advanced CNC toolpaths, hybrid cells, and AI-driven systems will define your leadership. So don't just view these systems as tools in a shop, view them as the core architecture of modern manufacturing. Keep building your expertise, streamline your processes, and let's lead the future of precision engineering together.